Hi folks, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to the Addicted Bookworm. Alright, so I'm doing two videos today. So today is Tuesday. I opened this morning, I came in at 5:30, I worked until like 12:04. I'll tell you something, trying to build focus on what you have to do when you only have 3.5 hours of sleep. I was like, how the hell am I going to do this? I finally was released and I was so happy to leave and go home. I did my laundry, so I got plenty of clean work shirts and stuff. So yeah, I just have one more day to go and I'm off for 2 days. I am so happy about that. Alright, so we're going to talk about the analog movement and how it is a world of people that never lived in an analog world try to live in somewhat of an analog world, which is impossible to do, because once you leave that particular time frame behind, it's impossible to get it back. Though you can try, but it's impossible to get it back. So one of my biggest issues with the analog movement is that they don't actually understand what it means to be analog. So I have been reading my physical books, and I do still read my digital books because I like them. I like my digital books. They're a great way to read if you are reading a thick book, and you're kind of a person or like, I don't want to carry this heavy book around. I'm just going to get my Kindle or my Nook or my Kobo or whatever, and you sit there and you read. You're spending time with yourself and you're spending time with your thoughts and everything. But back when I was growing up, we didn't have Kindles, Nooks, or Kobos. We had physical books, and we would read them. And we had programs that were designed to encourage reading. So to live in an analog world, or to embrace analog, you have to turn your back on everything that is important. You have to turn your back on technology, you have to turn your back on anything digital. And here's the thing, the people that are doing this movement, they're showing off their analog world while they're on the internet, or while they're on social media. That's not analog. That is just you doing something because it's popular. So like last week, not last week. Though no, it wasn't last week. Week before last, I got several of these 50-piece puzzles, and I am a huge puzzle geek. I love my puzzles. And I had so much fun sitting there at work before I had to come in and clock in and actually doing a puzzle. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And last week, I picked up two 1,000-piece puzzles, and it was the Bookshop and American Diner. Both of those puzzles are going to get done, but I will most likely start on the Bookshop one Thursday. So we're going to see how much of that can get done. And then I have these little things that you can attach that allows you to basically keep your puzzle in one piece. So that is a lot of fun, and I'm actually going to go on the floor and do that. But before I do that, I'm going to make a little indentation. I'm going to do like the outside pieces and make little indentions. That way I know where the border ends, or where the border is at. I am not going to be recording it on any kind of social media app. To me, when I'm putting a puzzle together, minus those little 50-piece ones, I am totally dedicated to actually getting it done. Also, another analog project would be your Legos. Those things are especially for adults, they're insanely hard to put together, but they are a lot of fun to put together. Um, all in all, I think that when we deal with people that are trying to use analog, either it's like coloring or whatever, I think that when they share it, I think that it is just performative, because the analog movement, from what I am getting, is supposed to be get away from your phone, get away from the internet, get away from brain rot, and just enjoying little projects. And when you do that, when you record it, you're not doing it correctly. You're not doing it the way it's supposed to be done. And then, of course, people criticize, people buying physical media when there's streaming. That's all part of analog. That's all part of going back to a time before streaming, is getting these videos, these TV shows, these old TV shows that people don't remember anymore. Sitting down and actually watching a movie or watching a TV show. I remember going on 6 years ago, I went and I put in a Nancy Drew one, and that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. That was analog. But I think that people try to turn everything into something that it isn't. They try to turn something that's supposed to be stress-free into something that is not stress-free. And I get really agitated with people that do that. Like, I remember, I think it was 2 years ago, we have a shop called New Age Gifts. It's also a smoke shop, and they had a New Age coloring book, and I picked it up, and then I went across the street or not across the street, because it wasn't open 2 years ago, Walmart, and I picked up a set of coloring pencils that turn, which I think is so cool. And I was sitting at a table at my old job at Five Guys, and I was coloring, and my stress level started going down, because your mind is on what's in front of you, not what's on your phone. So I personally think that when you go and you remove yourself from social media and you don't post, you truly kind of live that analog life, that you'll find it'll be much more beneficial. Anyways, but yeah, so another thing that I want to mention, part of me kind of ditching social media, because I still do my reading wrap-ups and stuff like that, which is a lot of fun to do. I have decided to no longer track any of my books on Goodreads. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to start deleting my books off of there, and I'm going to go into my Kindle and change it to basically get rid of that, and that way I can just read my books on my Kindle, and I don't have to worry about them being recorded. So as of now, I have 70 books recorded. I have read probably a little more than that. I'm not really paying attention anymore to how many books I've read. All I care about is sitting down and actually reading a book. I'm also no longer doing Storygraph. I'm no longer doing Fable. You don't need, if you're going to truly live an analog life, you can't be having these book tracking apps, because analog is away from social media. Analog is away from those book tracking apps. You just sit there and read a freaking book. Don't be worrying about oh, I need to update, that is not analog. Analog is getting your time back from it, and that's the hill I will die on. So that's what I'm going to be doing. It's just so important to get to sit down, read a book, get some of your mental health back, and just really prioritize on what is important. And definitely not tracking your books is definitely one of those non-important things. Alright, so that is my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.